far post, and it goes in. Oh, what a strike from Claire James. 1-0 Huskies.
As a goalkeeper on the St. Cloud State University women's soccer team, Zoe Welsh had made a name for herself by making game-changing saves on the field. But what many people didn't know about her is that she was inspired long ago to make saves of different kind off the field. It all began in 2011 when her close friend Rachel McNeil's brother Ross was diagnosed with pediatric cancer. He would lose his battle in 2013, the day before Mother's Day. But before he passed, he asked his family to promise him one thing.
He was 11 years old, and basically he told his mom and his father that the only thing he wanted them to make a promise, basically. Promise that no kid ever has to go through what he went through. So they took that to the heart, and ever since they started this organization to basically fund research for pediatric brain cancer and spread awareness. So it is a nonprofit organization, and it's been growing ever since, and it's gotten really huge.
The family created the Ross McNeil Foundation, otherwise known as R33M, to honor the promise they made to Ross. During Zoe's senior year of high school, she really became involved because of the saying, "tough because," and realized that she wanted to be a part of this organization. Coming into her freshman year at SCSU, she wanted to come and spread her knowledge and get it all around the campus, starting with the soccer team.
So what I decided to do was, I thought of, why don't we do a fundraising game for our 33M? So what we decided to do was we got tough shirts, because tough was Ross's saying. He was tough. And it had the soccer ball on it for our soccer team.
Not only did they do fundraisers at soccer games, but during her off-season, Zoe and the other girls would do fundraisers at basketball and hockey games.
Once it came to hockey, that was more heart-to-heart, because we actually had a little boy come up to us at one of the games and said he was like really interested, and his dad was with him, and he thanked us for what we were doing because he said that his son had brain cancer. He had a pediatric brain tumor. And so that really stuck with us and made us realize how much of an impact we actually have.
The reason behind R33M is because Ross was a very passionate hockey player. His number was after 33, his favorite player on the Chicago Blackhawks, Dustin Byfuglien. With Minnesota being the state of hockey, she thought this would be the perfect fundraiser to honor Ross.
Do a 3-on-3 hockey tournament. So once I did that, I got in contact with people in the hockey department, who then we've been talking about over the summer and then upcoming this year. So we're hoping for it to happen in January, to have a 3-on-3 hockey tournament to last just one day. But if it can't happen this year, we're definitely gonna have it next year. So yeah, it's been growing and it's awesome.
With the family continuing to do great work back home in Chicago, it was important for Zoe to set up shop right here at St. Cloud State.
Definitely say go on the website first. It's r33m.org, and there's all merchandise on there. There's literally so many. This is a hat that I'm obsessed with, but you can either donate online, look at fundraising events that they will be hosting, you can simply outright donate. And then personally, what I'm doing at St. Cloud that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set up an R33M club. So students who want to get volunteering, want to learn more about the organization, we can start setting up events where then they can go to, they can learn more about it, they can come up with merchandise ideas, just a basic way to get to know what the organization is and how they can help other kids.
Actually, can I not go by that name?
First and last, or?
Oh, mine's really small.
All right, you know that. You know that.
I hope so. Okay.
Okay, get it.
Yeah.
Right.
1-0.
We're a team.
I'm gonna give
You're gonna have no idea.
But this one is also true. It's just not number 1. Can I show it? Oh.
That's Merv!
But you guys are like both gingers. What is it? Oh! You don't even watch football.
Oh, Emma.
Okay. Well,
Me? I was always Team Lucas. What are you talking about?
I don't like his hair. It's like a pineapple. Close enough.
This is so hard.
I didn't even have to look at the board. The Fab
I
Five.
have no idea. I said this because you watch it with Murph and me.
You really are bad at this.
We're so bad. We're roommates, but we never hang out.
Takes me longer to write it. Okay. Aw.
Did you get it right?
I
All
got
right.
the song.
Yeah, the song
I like
would have been
gospel
questionable.
music.
Yeah, okay.
Mix. All right.
Coming up tonight
Wait,
on
comment,
UTVS
can't do.
News, a new look into the shooting of a popular rapper.
Preview
And then
can't do.
find out more about the measles outbreak that has been plaguing the U.S.
But first, a former police officer appears in court.
UTVS News starts now.
We're gonna mix and then we're gonna bring in the supers and then bring them out. Three, two, one, mix. All right,
Hello and
bring in our
welcome to
supers.
UTVS News
One,
at 4:30.
two,
I'm Kenny
three.
Johnson.
Job.
And I'm
Ready,
Miles
camera
Nelson.
one.
Here are tonight's stories.
Take camera one.
A former
All right, we're gonna have video coming
Minneapolis
out of player
police officer's murder trial is now underway in the Twin Cities.
Roll it.
Mohammed Noor is
Take
charged
it.
with murder and manslaughter
gonna
in the
come back
shooting
to
of an
Miles on cam
unarmed
3.
Australian woman in 2017.
Cam 1, you can move to your
Justine
OTS.
Damon had called 911 to report a possible sexual assault, and when police arrived, Damon approached the squad car and was shot by Noor. Noor was fired after he was charged, and the judge has set aside several weeks for his trial.
Take Miles.
A 71-year-old
a reader.
Minnesota man was found dead while snorkeling with a family member
right,
in the
bring in the
Florida
OTS.
Keys. Monroe County
Thank
Sheriff
you.
spokesman Adam Linhart stated that Michael McCormick of Slayton, Minnesota, was reported missing in the water by a family member. Good Samaritan boaters found McCormick and the family member and brought them to Greiger Key Marina. Paramedics performed CPR, but McCormick was pronounced dead at the scene. Foul play is not suspected, but autopsy results are pending.
Take Kenny.
A former Shakopee
All right, we're gonna
School
come back to
District
Miles on cam one.
superintendent
We're gonna
has been
video coming out
sentenced
player one.
to 2
Miles
years
on
in
cam three,
prison
video
for
out player
corruptly
one.
soliciting a bribe. Rodney Keith Thompson used his authority to gain personal benefits from companies interested in being awarded contracts with the school district. U.S. Attorney Erica McDonald says Thompson's greedy and corrupt dealings have earned him a prison sentence.
Take Miles. All right, clear the background.
Authorities say they have
Video
found
coming
the
out of player
body
one.
of a man from Cloquet
Roll
missing
it.
since mid-February.
Take it.
21-year-old
gonna come back to
Dakota
Kenny on
Abramowski was
cam
last
one,
seen
and this is a
leaving his
reader.
apartment building January 5th. He was reported missing February 18th by his family. According to police, his body was found nearby where he was reported missing.
Take Kenny.
A 26-year-old
All right, we're
man
gonna
is
come back to
dead after a
Miles on cam
head-on
3, and then we're gonna
motorcycle
have video
collision
coming
on
out of player
Sunday.
2.
Sergio Silvia of Faribault was traveling east on Interstate 94 in Minneapolis when the crash occurred. Silvia was wearing a helmet when he crashed, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the car was wearing his seatbelt when the crash occurred and did not suffer any injuries.
Take Miles. All right, Gary,
A
have video
Grammy-nominated
coming out of
rapper
player
was
2.
fatally shot on Sunday in California.
Take
Artist Nipsey Hussle was
All right,
fatally
we're gonna
shot
come back
outside
to
the clothing
Kenny
store
on
he owned in
cam
South
1,
Los
and then we're gonna have
Angeles.
video coming out of player 1.
Police report that 2 other men were also shot and are currently in stable condition. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti tweeted Sunday saying, quote, LA is hurt deeply each time a young life is lost to senseless gun violence, end quote.
Take Kenny.
Police
Alright,
have
we're gonna have video
stated
coming
that
out
a
of player
14-year-old is in stable condition after being shot by another teen inside an Arkansas school.
Roll it.
Prescott
Take it.
Police Chief Joseph Beaver states that the shooting took place in a hallway
All right,
this
we're gonna
morning.
come back to
He did
Miles
not
on cam
specify
3.
the school, and the student was injured. The injured student was airlifted
Then
to
we're
the
gonna have video
hospital
coming out
with
of
no
player
other injuries that were reported. School resource officers were able to contain the incident in a matter of seconds. The investigation is still ongoing.
Take Miles.
The
All
Trump
right, a video coming out of
administration
player
is
2.
considering hiring a border or immigration czar to coordinate between agencies.
Roll it.
President
Take it.
Trump is considering 2
All right,
possible
we're gonna come back to
candidates.
Kenny on cam 1.
One is former Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach and the other is former Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli. It is yet to be decided whether the post would be housed within the Department of Homeland Security or the White House. This discussion comes as Trump is considering closing the border if Mexico doesn't halt illegal immigration.
Take Kenny.
President Donald
All right, a video
Trump's
coming out of player 1.
administration has moved to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census.
Roll it.
President
Take it.
Trump expressed
All
on
right, come
Twitter
back to
that
Miles
it
on
would
cam
be
3.
meaningless if the census didn't include a citizenship question. The question has been in
Ready, camera
litigation
3.
in federal courts after lower courts ruled the administration's question violated the federal law and the Constitution.
Take Miles. All right, we're gonna have video coming out
A
of player
career
2.
official in the White House Security Office says at least 25 White House officials in the president's administration were granted access to classified information despite issues with their backgrounds.
Roll it. Take
Tricia
it.
Newbold says the
All right, we're gonna come
officials
back
who
to Kenny on camera
were
1.
initially denied by
Last
security
video.
clearances were overturned by Trump aides. The allegations are part of an investigation led by Democratic Representative Elijah Cummings of the House Oversight Committee.
Take Kenny.
British lawyer
right, video
Marco
coming out of player
Avetti
1.
is due in California court today.
Roll it.
Avetti is
Take it.
charged with facing charges for
All right, we're
illegally
gonna come to
obtaining
Miles,
$4
and
million
then we're gonna have
in
a
bank
CG.
loans and stealing another $1.6 million from a client. Allegations of the fraud have been following Avetti for some time now, and he is also facing charges in New York for an extortion that he was arrested for last week.
Take Miles. All right, get ready to
In a
flow
survey
page
of business
effect
supply
to the
managers
CG.
by the Mid-America Business Complex, there's a projection for continuous economic growth.
Take it.
According to
Effect.
the survey, the Mid-America Business Conditions Index
All right, we're gonna
has
come
hit
back
its
to
highest
Kenny
rating since August.
for this
For the
intro, and
month
then we're
of
gonna have a
March, the
package coming
index
out of
was
player
at
2.
58.2 points, which rose from 57.9 in February. The survey results are on a scale of 1 to 100, and anything over 50 signifies growth.
Take Kenny. All right,
St.
get
Cloud
ready to
State
effect
had a
this
very
package out of
special
player 2.
breakfast this morning. UTVS reporter Callie Jones has the story.
Effect. Roll it.
St. Cloud has a very busy Monday morning, preparing for the second